Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to my WWE 2K GM mode on Monday Night Raw. That is right, we are back once again for another episode of the Raw GM mode here, and I am very excited for this one here today because we have a historic announcement coming in just a moment. And I mean, really, it shouldn't shock you too much if you saw the last episode because we have come to a bit of a decision on something that I asked you guys about last episode, hint, hint. So ladies and gentlemen, it brings me great honor and a great pleasure to announce that after some negotiations here behind the scenes of the Raw GM mode with the WWE higher-ups and Vincent Kennedy McMahon himself, we have come to a bit of a decision. And if I want my legacy as Raw GM to be anything, I want it to be that I'm a man who can admit when I was wrong. I can admit my mistakes, and I made a massive mistake in retiring the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And so without any more further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed honor and pleasure to announce that the Women's Intercontinental Championship has been officially reinstated. Welcome back. And I see that look on your face right now. You thought that was the only announcement we were going to do here in this intro. No. That's not my style as general manager. We're not just going to reinstate the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We're not just bring it back onto the Bible roster. We're going to go ahead and purchase it for $25,000. And in tonight's main event, we're going to crown a brand new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And so it certainly is going to be interesting to see who leaves Monday Night Raw tonight as the Women's IC Champion. And as far as who's going to be contending in that Women's IC Championship match, we'll get onto that in a second. Because right now, you know the drill. At the beginning of every Raw GM mode episode, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the current budget and the views and ratings from last episode and see how much money we can add on in there, who we want to buy in today's episode. And so after last episode, we ended with $25,000, but of course, over 1,000 views, over 150 likes. That's plus 60,000 for the 1,000 views and plus 45,000 for the 150 likes, leaving our overall budget now at $130,000. And we are going to waste no time in spending some of that $130,000 budget because we're going to go ahead and spend $15,000 on Liv Morgan and additionally $20,000 on Naomi, because that's right, you guessed it, we are going to go ahead and have Liv Morgan take on Naomi to crown a Women's Intercontinental Champion in tonight's main event. And of course, it goes without saying, I already mentioned this moments ago, but we're spending $25,000 on the Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is back on tonight's show. And this is her brutality. We're spending $25,000 on Rhea Ripley. And with that Rhea Ripley buy, that means our remaining budget is $45,000. So yeah, there you go, a blockbuster announcement right there. The Women's IC Championship is not only back, but it will be on the line in tonight's main event between Liv Morgan and Naomi to crown a new champion. And one thing I should mention, by the way, is that I've decided as far as the timeline goes, because, you know, if you watch Universe GM mode, you'll know that Shayna Baszler was the first ever Women's IC Champion back in the old timeline, in the old series. I kind of don't really like how I was doing all that, and I don't really like anything I did with Shayna Baszler in that era of the series, so we're kind of just gonna crisp and wall that from the record books, you know. Just gonna go ahead and pretend that whole Shayna Baszler thing never happened. I mean, it was okay, but we're just gonna go ahead and decide that the Women's IC Championship lineage starts tonight in the main event on Monday Night Raw. Who will become champion though? Liv Morgan or Naomi? You'll find out later on. Yeah, anyway, we are just 13 days away from the Clash of Champions pay-per-view, so things are really heating up on tonight's show. And so without any more further ado, I present to you another episode of my Monday Night Raw. Gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting edition of Monday Night Raw, where tonight we're kicking things off with the Intercontinental Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And really, how interesting is it that after the events of last week, AJ Styles really ain't even the man of the hour coming into tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw. He is the Intercontinental Champion, but everybody is talking about the big man to his right, Big Omos. Because it was a war of words between Ricochet and AJ Styles. Ricochet essentially saying, I ain't going anywhere, AJ. I don't care about your disrespect. I'm coming back for one thing because I'm the one and only, and I'm going to be champion again. And AJ said, alright, you can have your rematch at Clash of Champions, but let's make it interesting. Let's put the stipulation on the line. If you win a match with an opponent that I pick, then you can pick the stipulation, but if you lose, then I'll pick the stipulation. And long story short, Omos came in and almost did Omos things. This just feels like deja vu. Another episode of Raw, another week, and AJ Styles is coming out here to laugh at how stupid Ricochet is. So for those of you that missed it, Ricochet, being the defiant bastard he is, decided to say he would take on anyone last week to fight for the stipulation at Clash of Champions. That was his first mistake. His next mistake was not running home to Paducah, Kentucky with his tail in between his legs once he realized his opponent. Because he got absolutely destroyed by Big Omos. You got anything to say, big guy? Alright, fair enough. Silent but deadly type. But nevertheless, we put emphasis on the deadly because Ricochet lost, and now it's time for me to pick this stipulation. And so I choose none other than a 2-on-1 handicap championship match at Clash of Champions. Me and Omos against you, Ricochet, and we'll see just how much of a superhero you really are. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the show continues here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, because it is about time for the arrival of the Queen, Charlotte Flair. And in this matchup next, the indications for Clash of Champions are absolutely monumental, but more on that in a moment. And so, as I was about to mention moments ago, for Charlotte Flair tonight, she'll be taking on the Women's World Champion Becky Lynch. And I mean, while this isn't an official #1 contender, if you win kind of matchup, if Charlotte Flair pins or submits Becky Lynch here tonight and does what she said she could do last week, then surely you've got to imagine that she is in that Women's World title picture and will get an opportunity in the near future. So for Charlotte Flair, there's no doubt about it, this is a must win. Not only for bragging rights over her former best friend and one half of Charlotte Lynch, but also to potentially get that Women's World title match at Clash of Champions or on a future episode of Monday Night Raw. But now, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the aforementioned, here comes the Women's World Champion, the man, Becky Lynch. And we talked about it last week, we've talked about it ever since that roster reset draft for Becky Lynch. The more things change, the more they stay the same when it comes to the dominance of Becky Lynch in this calendar year, winning that Women's World title back at WrestleMania from Kairi Sane. Of course, you can't forget about the third woman who was in that match as well, Charlotte Flair, in the first ever Women's WrestleMania main event. Becky has changed the game ever since that night. But right now, Charlotte Flair is ready, Becky Lynch is ready. We're about to run it back for an all-time classic in the women's division. Here we go. Becky wasting no time going after her former best friend here. And now Becky, boom, big stomp on the tricep right there. And Becky's about to go airborne early in this one. Hang on a second, wasting no time going after Charlotte Flair. And now she waits for the Queen to stand back up as the man looks to fly through the skies here with a drop kick. But no, the Queen gets out of the way. She knows what is on the line in this matchup right here on Raw. And now Charlotte Flair, Becky in the corner, big forearm right there, straight to the man, straight to the champ, the first, the GOAT, or at least as Becky claims to be anyway. She claims to be the GOAT, and she might be about to just prove it again here if she can beat Charlotte on Raw. No, a kick out at 2.5. Charlotte, also another woman that claims she is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Will that become a fact? We'll see how her career goes from this point onwards. But right now, Charlotte Flair doling out those tough knees, taking down Becky. Like I mentioned when Charlotte Flair was making her entrance, this isn't an official if you beat Becky then you get a championship match. But I mean, you've got to imagine that with the higher ups here in the WWE, you know how it works when it comes to a championship match. If you go ahead and pin or submit the champion, you got a championship match in your future. It's only a matter of time. And really, that's what we heard Becky and Charlotte going back and forth in that promo last week. Charlotte said, hey, you know, Becky was basically saying you always get handed opportunities, and Charlotte was like, why don't you give me an opportunity to get an opportunity, obviously referring to the fact that if she beats her here tonight, then she gets a women's championship opportunity at some point in the future. But also, let's not forget, there are a ton of women here on the Raw roster who want the exact same thing. They want Becky's spot, and they are going to come for Charlotte if that's what it takes. Now look at this very unique maneuver there by Becky Lynch. The man wrenching the arm of Charlotte Flair, got that extended frame in pain. But hang on a second, Charlotte Flair back up, big forearm right there by the Queen, but a counter by the man. Another counter by the Queen, and we go back and forth between these two women who know each other tremendously well. They traveled the roads together, they came up together, former best friends in this business. Of course, 2/4 of the 4 horsewomen group, of course, Bayley and Sasha Banks over on SmackDown right now. And now a counter, these two women still going back and forth. It is becoming a knockout, slug out brawl. Big forearm there by Charlotte Flair, and Flair with the STO taking down Becky Lynch momentarily. Is this where Charlotte Flair can turn the tide and capitalize and possibly pin the Women's World Champion tonight? Hang on a second, Charlotte Flair here, sunset flip powerbomb, unique little counter right there. Jessica Carr going down for the count right here. This is about to be on the man. Is she about to get counted? No. Oh, hang on a second there, nice unique counter there by Becky. Is she about to get it done here? No. Very nearly right there for both these women, almost losing on opposite ends of the field right there. Charlotte almost lost, and so did Becky. And now Becky almost feeling the wrath of that. And now Becky with the DDT. Now possibly Becky wondering what she has to do to put away her best friend, or former best friend I should say. But she's done it before. We know the extensive history between these two women. Of course, you can never forget what happened at SummerSlam 2018, where Becky finally snapped and became the man here in the WWE. And she might be about to snap on Charlotte Flair once again. Here we go, going for the disarmer, but no, it's countered by Charlotte Flair. Becky here, oh, nice counter there by Charlotte Flair though. Nice counter, a forearm right there. A kick doesn't connect. A counter by Becky Lynch. A counter, oh, nicely dodged under there by Charlotte Flair. And now Flair, what a unique pin maneuver, nicely done. But no, she's in the ropes, and that is very unfortunate there for Charlotte Flair. Almost got it now done. What is this? Both these women about to be in a precarious position. High risk, will the high reward pay off though for Charlotte Flair? Here we go from the skies, sending the man straight down to hell. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, nice counter there by Becky Lynch. What an athletic maneuver, and a counter there by the man. Charlotte was going for that figure eight, of course, what she's won many a championship with, but it was countered by Becky because, like I said, both these women know each other tremendously well. They know the counters to both women's finishing maneuvers, excuse me, and both submission holds, whether it be the disarmer or the figure eight. But hang on a second, this time Charlotte is going to get it locked in after that maneuver, and now she's got the figure four, looking to transition into the figure eight. Woo! Here we go. Figure eight leg lock is locked in. Is Becky about to tap here on Monday Night Raw? Is Charlotte going to get the championship match after all? No. Becky managing to disconnect it and punch her friend in the face. Or former friend, I should say. I mean, these two women go back and forth. Sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're not. It's just how it works when championships are involved. And another counter by Charlotte Flair right there. A counter by Becky. The kick straight to the gut. Locked Charlotte for a second. I think it might have winded her right there. But another counter by Becky Lynch. Nicely done. Fireman's carry. Putting over Charlotte. And now Becky, hang on a second. Oh, nicely done there. Rolling through Becky is, but no. Charlotte getting her extended frame in the ropes. And now Becky going for the disarmer once again. But it's another counter by Charlotte Flair. Another counter by Becky Lynch. Back and forth we go here between these two best friends. And now Charlotte with an elbow. Charlotte, a woman that says, I have always been better than you, Bex, whether you want to admit it or not. Spear by the Queen. And Charlotte was going for the figure eight right there, but Becky managed to get out of it. A unique little maneuver right there to get out of it. And hang on a second, Bex Exploder again. Becky with that never say die attitude. She is looking to put away the Queen here once and for all, but no. Another counter by Charlotte Flair. I think she was going to go for that disarmer right there, but it was countered. And now Charlotte Flair kicked straight to the gut. That one caught Becky flush straight in the abdomen. Might have winded her. Natural selection. Picture perfect natural selection into the cover on the man, and the Queen has done it. An impeccable matchup that was between two of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. Once again, they deliver, but shockingly, Becky has been pinned by Charlotte. The Queen putting her money where her mouth is, and she beat the champion. And now, fellas, we're just 13 days away from the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. Has Charlotte Flair just booked her ticket onto that card? Oh, here we go. It's about that time of the week, gentlemen. Here comes the darkness within. The man who walks the left-hand path, Aleister Black. Wherever Aleister Black goes, destruction is not too far behind. Destruction follows wherever this man goes. It has been a staple of this brand on this calendar year, from the Pete Dunne feud to retiring Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and to most recently sidelining Angel Garza last week. Because that's right, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of an injury update for you after that Aleister Black Angel Garza match last week on Raw. 4 black masses to the skull of Angel Garza, and Angel Garza is now out indefinitely. So if I'm Aleister Black's opponent here tonight, I don't even think I'm showing up. I don't think I'm coming out that entrance way. I'm heading home, bro. The mood that this man is in right now, he ain't just here to pick a fight with you. He is here to end your career. He's borderline ended Angel Garza's career, and he ended Randy Orton's not too long ago. That is Aleister Black. Now here comes Aleister Black's opponent here tonight, none other than Drew Gulak, who of course, I mean, don't get me wrong, an incredibly talented competitor. I'm happy to have him on this Raw roster, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be on this Raw roster, if you know what I mean. But I mean, Gulak has been in there with some of the best of them, incredible talent to have here on Monday Night Raw. He's as tough as they come, a tough bastard. So if anyone can handle Aleister Black and find a way to defeat him here with the momentum that he's riding, it's got to be Drew Gulak, surely. And now these two competitors are ready, and the referee rings the bell. Aleister Black against Drew Gulak Black here on Monday Night Raw as Aleister Black went for a knee and he caught an enziguri anyway on the backside of the head of Drew Gulak. He went for that big flying knee which we've seen him go for many a time, and he just caught Gulak flush on the back of the head. Oh no, look at Aleister Black again. Another black mass to another competitor here on Monday Night Raw. Just like that. And Gulak may be out already. Look at Aleister Black just standing over his prey as the predator he is. Look at this now, this signature cross-legged pose, and that only means more destruction is on the way. Look at this, just dragging the lifeless carcass of Drew Gulak, who I don't think has any idea where he is right here on Monday Night Raw. Black mass again. And I'll be honest, if I'm a champion here on Monday Night Raw, I am getting out of here because the mood that this man is in right now. Black mass again to Drew Gulak. This man is out here not just to pick a fight, not just to send a message, but end careers. Black wins on Raw. Right now, this man, the darkness within, is a lethal assassin, and I do not want to mess with him. Black picks up another win here on Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time, a woman who may be about to make history here tonight in our main event, Liv Morgan. Now Liv, it's no secret that you're a woman who has been touted with a ton of potential since she arrived in WWE. Everyone loves you, but you're yet to win a championship in this company, NXT or main roster. So now the pressure really is on. How are you dealing with this? How are you feeling? This may come as a shock to you, Renee, but I feel great. I've waited for this moment my whole life. For too long I have been overlooked and underappreciated, but tonight is my time, my moment, and the WWE Universe is about to watch me. But this time, they're about to watch their girl become Women's Intercontinental Champion. Naomi, you are just moments away from fighting to become history's first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion here in the WWE. What's going on in your mind right now? A lot is going through my mind right now, Cole. This isn't just about me. I'm thinking about my kids, about my family, my friends, my people. This is about history, not just for women everywhere, but for my people. It's about the power that comes out of a moment where a black woman stamps her name in the history books as champion. A black woman who shows you that you should not be judged on the color of your skin or your gender or where you come from or who you know to get opportunities, but the content of your character. And the content of my character is that I'm resilient, I'm a fighter, and I'm about to go fight for the right to say I was the first. I love Liv, I really do, but she's about to feel the glow. Incredibly powerful words there from Naomi, and Liv Morgan has all the hype to live up to. It is time to crown the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion here in the WWE. Here comes one competitor, Liv Morgan. And you heard in that interview with Michael Cole moments ago for Naomi, it's just incredibly powerful words right there. She's doing this for her family, for her kids, for her people, and you gotta love it. I mean, to echo the sentiment, I don't have the exact quote here from Naomi, but essentially saying you should not be judged on the color of your skin, your gender, where you come from, who you know, to get opportunities in the WWE, like we've seen many a time in the past. For Naomi, she has been judged on the content of her character, and the content of her character is that she is a goddamn fighter, and she doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. But we're about to see here tonight if she can go ahead and cap off a historic night here and become the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion and make her people, her family, her friends proud. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what this one is all about. The Women's Intercontinental Championship. History in the making is about to take place. Here we go. And Liv wasting no time, but Naomi neither wasting no time with that super kick right there. Oh, what a unique clothesline that is from Naomi off the bat in the early going in this championship match. Oh, how things can change in a night. At the beginning of tonight's show, we didn't even know we were going to have a Women's Intercontinental Championship match in the main event, and now here we are, because that's what kind of Monday Night Raw I run. You never ever know what's gonna happen. Expect the unexpected, and that's why we got a Women's Intercontinental Championship match happening. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but it's happening nonetheless. And now here we go. Naomi going for something but a counter there, jawbreaker by Liv Morgan. Both these women incredibly deserving of this opportunity in the main event right here. Naomi doing it for her people, for her family, for her kids, for her friends. Hang on a second here. Naomi into the first cover of this matchup, but a counter, or excuse me, a kick out there by Liv Morgan, and there's no doubt about it that Liv Morgan is doing it for her people, people, for her friends, for her family as well. I mean, shout out to Ruby and Sarah, who can't be here right now, but you know that she's about to cause a riot in memorial to them. Maybe not memorial. Memorial's not quite the right word. I mean, Ruby and Sarah are still alive and healthy and everything. They're just no longer here in the WWE, no longer on the Raw roster, but you know Liv is going to cause a riot on behalf of both of them. And now Liv Morgan here, nice forearm there, caught Naomi on the side of the jaw, but a counter by Naomi, nice spinning heel kick right there, caught a flush on the side of the head, and now Naomi looking to continue the momentum here with a backbreaker as well. Naomi has waited forever and a day for an opportunity like this. Somebody believes, and honestly, it's not even just a Naomi thought, everyone believes that Naomi has been overlooked here in the WWE, and now she has a chance to prove that she deserved this opportunity if she can become Women's Intercontinental Champion here tonight in this main event. But Liv Morgan is not going to have any of that. Nice arm drag through the sky. Beautifully done right there from Liv Morgan, but no, another counter by the Glow. She's about to feel the glow. If Naomi has anything to say about it, nice kicks right there by Naomi, and a counter by Liv. Oh, what a spinning kick that was. Look at this now. Liv is feeling herself in this matchup right here. Nicely done. Nice kip up there by Liv Morgan. Always feeling herself, always betting on herself, but so is Naomi, and now Liv Morgan is in a bit of a bad position right here in the corner, and Naomi, hanging a second, she's about to go for that springboard moonsault. Nicely done. She's won a championship with that before. Shout out to her, the match against Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship a number of years ago. Now Naomi into the cover off of that springboard moonsault. Is she about to be crowned the Women's Intercontinental Champion? No. A kick out by Liv Morgan. Clutch right there. 2.5. But Naomi has won a championship, a world championship, with that move right there before. So shout out to Liv Morgan for kicking out. Oh, nice Hurricane Rana there by the ever athletic Naomi, who is feeling the glow right now, and the crowd is heavily behind her. The crowd loves both these women, but they have probably more of an affection to Naomi, who, I mean, this crowd has seen Naomi do great things here in the WWE. I'll never forget when she won the SmackDown Women's Championship in her hometown in Orlando, Florida at WrestleMania. Now Liv Morgan, hang on a second, she got it. Speaking of moves that have won matches before for these women, she may have just won a championship. No, a kick out at 2.5. Conjoined twins close right there from Naomi, kicking out of that knee. These women have gone for their big maneuvers, but neither of them have put the other away. What do they do now? What do they do next? I mean, we've seen the split-legged moonsault. Surely Naomi's going to go for the rear view now, but a counter by Liv. Big neck breaker coming in clutch right there, avoiding the rear view. That's exactly what I was talking about. The neck breaker into the cover, but a kick out by Naomi. Now another counter there by Liv Morgan. These two women are throwing everything but the kitchen sink, slamming it down with a power slam right there. And now Liv is looking to fly. Liv looking to go airborne. Now Liv Morgan here. Oh no, she got the double knees up, did Naomi, coming in incredibly clutch right there from the former SmackDown Women's Champion, the former Raw Women's Champion. But no, another counter right here. Liv Morgan with that single leg Boston Crab. Naomi trying to reach for the ropes, but no, using her athletic frame, using her flexibility to get out of it. I just mentioned that Naomi is a former Raw Women's Champion. Excuse me, she's a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, never been Raw Women's Champion, never been Women's World Champion here on Monday Night Raw, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time if she can continue here using the Women's Intercontinental Champion as a bit of a springboard to get to Becky Lynch someday. She moves out of the way. That dropkick right there does Naomi. Elbow caught a flush on the side of the jaw. Liv Morgan, oh, what a nice roll through right there into the guillotine. The guillotine is locked in by Liv Morgan, unique as ever right there, but no, Naomi is fighting. She managing to get out of it right there, disconnecting the submission hold at least momentarily. And now Liv Morgan, look at this. She does not appreciate that Naomi just did that in her face. And Liv Morgan again, here we go, knee by Liv Morgan once again, and we're about to see a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. No, and now Naomi is back up to her feet. 2 clotheslines right there. She's about to deliver the trifecta of moves. Big heel kick right there, caught Liv on the chest. And now picking up Liv Morgan right here, but no, another counter by Liv. Another counter by Liv. Oh my god, unique as ever. Roll through to the guillotine again. The submission offense. Referee asking Naomi, is she going to give up? She may not give up, but she might pass out from the tightness of that guillotine. But no, Naomi managing to disconnect it again. Now Naomi here, hang a second, has Liv Morgan exactly where she wants her again. The split-legged moonsault. The split-legged moonsault, and Naomi is closing in on becoming the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. What the hell is going on here? The lights are out and I can't see a damn thing. Oh my god, look at who it is. It's Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss doing that spider crab walk. Naomi is down, clearly knocked down when the lights were out. Who knows where the hell Liv Morgan is? What the hell is Alexa Bliss? And now, hang on a second, Sister Abigail by Alexa Bliss. Sister Abigail, and what the hell is Alexa Bliss doing? Going to the cover. Alexa Bliss is champion. What just happened here on Monday Night Raw? Alexa Bliss has emerged from the darkness and she is Women's Women's Intercontinental Champion. I'm speechless. I have absolutely no words for the events that just took place.